Alrighty, so UFC 313 just happened, and my fucking depression has skyrocketed. We'll get into why. But, overall pretty good event, except for the main event, I guess. But, we'll get to it. If you're wondering who I am and why I'm making this video, I do picks and predictions every single week for every single UFC event, as I am a UFC fan. I also upload videos based on content that I am passionate about, like video games. Now, with that being said, let's get into the breakdown of the card after UFC 313, starting with Desjardins Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. No one really cares. I didn't pick this fight, so I don't really care. It was a close fight, to be fair, but Ozzy Diaz kind of won, I guess. It was really close, to be fair. It was a very close fight. Probably could have given it either way, like a certain main event we'll get into, but, that's for later. We'll save that. Fuck, man. Anyways, I'm so happy I crashed out eating those Pop-Tarts. Holy shit. I feel better now that I crashed out after what happened in the main event. Fuck me, man. Anyways. Yeah, so, Santos sucks, Diaz sucks, both of them suck. Moving on, didn't pick the fight because it was a short notice, fight, so that's why it's not in the prediction, doesn't count to the overall score, which I am still positive. Swept the prelims, by the way, except for the Ozzy Diaz fight because I didn't predict that one. Mayron Santos, why do I always say this one? Myron Santos, I think is how you pronounce it. Myron Santos versus Francis Marshall. My breakdown was pretty much perfect. Francis Marshall can kind of break and he can kind of lose rounds. He just has this problem where he never does the right thing. Even though he goes against like good comp, he just doesn't do the right thing. Like he wobbles Santos, doesn't go for a finish, I know it was a really close fight. Some people probably would say arguably a robbery. I even initially thought Francis Marshall won, but I got my pick right, so don't really care. That's going in the stats. So we still positive, baby. Moving on, we have Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. Alex Morono gets knocked out. Bloody fucking war, Alex Morono, I respect the man. He may be built like a soy boy, femboy, fucking online guy who just... he's in that Pornhub section, if you know what I mean. But, hey, he at least, gets down like a real man, He'll get in there and die if he needs to. And, he's got a fucking chin on him. Carlos Leal is definitely on something. Spots on his back, spots on his chest. He's on something. No USADA testing. Yeah, he's on something. But, yeah, it was just a fucking... slugfest, as some Angelo Bodies from We Want Pick, shout out to them. They're technically what got me hooked onto UFC in the first place those years ago when they started their YouTube channel. But regardless of that fact, yeah, Alex Morono just got TKO'd, it is what it is. Alex Morono, he's not built for the UFC anymore. He's an old era fighter. And when you see highlights of him beating Cowboy Cerrone, there's a reason why Cowboy Cerrone's not currently fighting in the UFC. It's just their old generation. They have skill and technique, but they don't have like the pop, the speed, the brain, They just don't have it anymore. Moving on, Bruno Ferreira versus Armen Petrosyan. No idea why Armen Petrosyan was the favorite. I get it, he is 6'3" and Bruno Ferreira's 5'10". I get that, but, like, Bruno Ferreira's, like, actually good. He does have a gas problem, and he can kind of be chinny, but other than that, skill for skill, he's on level with Phil Hawes, which is really fucking good. He's got a much better chin than Phil Hawes, and if we're talking grappling skill, he's looking like a Gilbert Burns on the ground, So I think Bruno Ferreira's, like, really fucking good. It was a wicked submission transition, to be fair. Absolutely a wicked transition to the armbar after he was on top from Armen Petrosyan. That was sick. Armen kind of sucks. Not really anything you can really do with him. Cut him from the sport. I think that's 3 in a row. I'm pretty sure that's 3 in a row. He lost to Shara, and he lost to Hadolfo, and he lost to who? He beat Leroy Duncan? Fuck. Really? Damn it. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Like, just feed him to someone and let him just get fucking cut. Feed him to Bo Nickel or something. I don't care. Because that guy just wants to fight unranked fighters for the rest of his career, I guess. Anyways, yeah, Bruno Ferreira, you know. I've been preaching about it, you know. He's got some chin problems. Maybe he won't be a world champion or anything, but he's a good fighter, you know. He did technically lose the first round, I think, even though there was a point deduction, so it was like a draw round. It is what it is, you know. Moving on, we have Joshua Van versus Ray Tutsuria. This was a sick fight. Mainly because Joshua Van literally looked like he could be a flyweight champion. You know, he pieced the fuck out of Ray Tutsuria like the whole fight, wobbling him in moments. He's got really fast hands, man, and his his sprawls are so fucking good. I'm not a wrestling fan or anything, right? But like, man, I imagine if I was like a heavy wrestling fan, I'd be licking my lips every single time I saw a sprawl like Joshua Van. You know, sick ass sprawls. Really good anti-grappling ability against Ray Tutsuria. Good ability, get to the cage, get up from takedown, stuff like that. Really good hand speed. Does need to do a little bit more body work. He focuses a little too much on the head, even though he's accurate and it works. I think in the Brandon tier, you know, where the Morenos and the Royvals are, you'll definitely need to start hitting to the body and focusing a little bit more on diversity striking rather than just, you know, jabs and crosses to the head. Even though they work, at some point you're going to cap out, you know? But good for Joshua Van. How good is Charles Jourdain? Charles Johnson, not Jourdain. Sorry, that's a bantamweight Canadian fighter. One of the last bastions of Canada. Repping my country. Anyways, moving on to the main card. This one's going to be really fast, mainly because I'm pissed off. But also because I got work in the morning, so I apologize if I'm going a little too fast. But, I figured, you know, it'd be a good time to speed run. King Green versus Huffy. Now, this is where it goes downhill. All right, this is where it goes downhill. I may have been huffing a little too much copium, guys. And, you know, I could have seen a 29-28 split decision or unanimous decision from King Green, you know. But, Father Time claims all, you know. And at the end of the day, it's night. So Bobby Green gets put to sleep. It is what it is, you know? It is what it is sometimes. Fuck, man. Green has some of the worst KOs you can ever see. Jesus Christ. In like in a good like KO of the year way, you know? But sick ass KO from Huffy. Man, I don't know what I think you just let Green fight until he just wants to retire. You know? He always will want to retire, but I mean in terms of just like, you know, 4 in a row, especially if they're KO losses or finishing losses, you know? Even if he cut his losses now, I wouldn't even say that's a bad decision. But he's been around for a while. You know, he should get roses. He should get the whole package when he leaves. He's probably making bank when he fights, even in a loss like he did. But man, that spinning wheel kick. And you can even see the thing with Green in his later portion of his career, even against Tony Ferguson, and even in his like good wins, you know, aside from the Grant Dawson one, because that was just clean and Grant Dawson getting fucking clipped. But Green isn't good at like peripherals anymore, and that could be age, could be the fact that he's high most of the time, but he's not good at like most fighters, like a Dan Hooker and like a few other fighters that are like really tough, Justin Gaethje, like these fighters that are really tough are really good at being like, okay, a head kick is coming, I know it's coming, you know, and that's kind of how they can stay so tough, because they know what's coming on. Sorry if you hear my heater in the background, but they know what's going on, you know. With Green, he does just look at you, and that's it. And I know it's like, you know, that's what most fighters do, but it's almost like his peripherals are fucked now. I don't know if it's like maybe, I don't know what, like it wouldn't be scar tissue. I don't know what it's called, but like and maybe it is scar tissue, where it's just like he's got like those droopy eyebrows now because he's been cut in the forehead so many times, and he's got a big ass forehead, to be fair. But it's just, he's really bad whenever someone tries to do something dynamic, you know? Even Jalen Turner's right over the top was pretty much like a off balance, but it was like Green kind of rolled with it, and his shoulder was kind of blocking his peripherals, you know? Green's getting really bad at, like, being able to sense his peripherals. I love Bobby Green, though. I'll probably still pick him in some fights. Any scraps or any young blood with, like, large power, you know, is definitely not a good fight for Bobby Green. I respect him, though, for taking this fight. You gotta respect a man who takes a fight against Mauricio, the Aura King, Huffy in lightweight, you know? But, yeah, moving on. We have Amanda Lemos, Yasmin Lucindo, and let me tell you guys, you know, I didn't watch everyone's picks on YouTube, but, you know, there's a lot of people, and by a lot, I mean every single person I saw. You know, I think Running Mouth did it, I think We Want Picks did it, even the Guru did it, you know? Everyone's picking fucking Yasmin Lucindo. Listen, guys, doesn't matter if there's a pick doctor, fight simulator, whatever the fuck, alright? This is unfucking defeated in women's MMA, alright? I have my methods, some people have their methods, but let me just tell you guys, stop putting fucking reasoning into women's MMA. If you genuinely gamble on women's MMA, you might as well just be playing slots. That's it, you know? Wherever one's the underdog, you put money on the underdog because why not? That's pretty much how you bet on women's MMA. I don't personally bet on women's MMA. I don't think I ever will because it's that dog shit. But you might as well fucking, you know, hit the jackpot when you're betting on women's MMA here. So it is what it is. Please, genuinely, if you're a degenerate gambler or a gambler in general, genuinely stop gambling on these women fights. Unless you won, then hey, keep gambling, baby. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Amanda Lemos, I didn't really watch the fight. I think she laid on top for round 1 and 2, and then she got laid on in round 3, if I'm remembering correctly. Don't really care. It's a woman's fight. Nobody cares. Moving on. Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. This was a bad read on my end. Not gonna lie. You know, bad read on my end. That's on me, boys. I thought Jalen Turner had fucking brain cells, being 10 years experience in the UFC, but, no, he doesn't at all. There's literally a moment, he was doing well in the striking, to be fair, you know, caused the bloody nose, and then Bahamondes, ended up on bottom, Jalen Turner on top, and Jalen Turner, I shit you not, literally, like, kind of slips out of, like, the top position, and it's, like, completely out. No arms in, no body parts touching. And instead of just standing up, because he was kind of having success on the feet, he decides to go right back into guard. Oh, but leave his arm in, and he threw his head in there, because why the fuck not? You know? And then he let his leg get grabbed, and when his leg got grabbed, that's when the fucking arm triangle was put in. I think that's what it's called, an arm triangle. And Ignacio just fucking locked in his legs because it's that fucking easy when you're as dumb as a bag of rocks as Jalen Turner. Rumors are saying that he retired. I didn't see that he retired. He might have actually retired. If he did retire, thank fuck. He's too stupid for the sport. Like, what else do you want me to do? You literally had the opportunity to stand up, and instead, you threw your arm into his guard with head in, one arm out, and you just sat there. And then, oh, I think it was, no, it was this one. Or maybe it was the other one. Yeah, it was the other one. And then he decides to elbow one arm in, guard. Is that not like 101 don't fucking ever do? When you're at risk at getting either arm barred or fucking triangled, why the fuck would you ever go for an elbow in top position? Anyways, moving on, Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev, sick-ass fight, great first round from Fiziev, really close second round until Fiziev got dropped in the second, and then in the third round, Justin Gaethje just looked more fresh. It was close, it was very close. What are the striking sayings? Really? It was a really close fight, really good fight. You know, Fiziev showcased offensive grappling, but I think at the end of the day, it's just like, man, coming off an injury layoff in such a short notice, if it was a full camp, he probably does KO Gaethje in the second, to be honest with you. But really close fight, Sick fight. Happy for Justin Gaethje. I'm a fan of Justin Gaethje. I'm not like a big Justin Gaethje hater, like some people. MMA guru, all right? You know, he's a warrior at the end of the day, and he's tough as shit. And, you know, even in his older age, he's tough as shit. I think you could rebook the Dan Hooker fight. I think that'd be a sick scrap. And Justin Gaethje, sick fighter. I think he's going to stay around for probably 2 more years. And then, you know, all the juice will be squeezed. And then it's time to pack up the bags with Justin Gaethje. But yeah, sick-ass fight. Nice co-main event. And now we get to the main event. Now, the bullshit in this fucking main event, all right? Number 1, obviously, Alex Pereira had poisoned water or something going into this fight. I don't know what was happening in Alex Pereira's brain, but he was just not able to just go. Like, I don't think he threw one right hook the whole fight. And it was there for him a few times. Disappointing from Alex Pereira to see, but he stuffed... How many takedowns? It's only showing... Really? It's only showing 8? On the stats, it was showing like 11 takedowns in the middle of the fight, in the middle of the 5th round. And to be honest with you, there's a really good argument that Alex Pereira won 3-2. You know, so I would give Pereira 1-3-5 personally. I think it says more. Like, I get the argument, oh, but Ankalaev was pressuring. But Ankalaev landed like a jab, rocked him once in round 2. Ooh, you know? Oh wow, you get round 2. You know what I mean? But, like, Pereira, round 3, he outlanded him, I'm pretty sure. Actually, what are the numbers on the whole fight? He didn't outland him the whole fight. No, but, like, I guess we're just not counting leg kicks. You know what I mean? Round 1, easy Pereira. Round 2, you go Ankalaev. Round 3, I would go Pereira just because of the leg kicks. Round 4, I think, was the round where Ankalaev wanted to shoot... Or not, he didn't shoot takedowns. He just held him against the fence, did pretty much nothing against the fence. And even then, Alex Pereira even outlanded him in the 4th round, especially with leg kicks. And then in the 5th round as well, not to mention on the 4th round, he literally just fucking pushed Ankalaev to the ground. And then in the 5th round, Alex Pereira was up the whole time until the last minute. I thought he was up on damage. I thought it was better optics. I get it, he was being pressured, but he also outlanded him. And Ankalaev did far less in the clinch in terms of, like, what was being done out in the open was more on Pereira's end than it was Ankalaev's in the 5th. And then Ankalaev did a few knees while holding him against the fence, where Pereira broke hands, pushed him away, got to space, landed a few more strikes. Got held against the fence again, broke the hands again. Like, I don't know. I thought Alex Pereira did more than Ankalaev, and I think you do the immediate rematch, to be honest with you. But they're probably not going to do it. Really sucks for Pereira. If I didn't see the post-fight anything. If Pereira retires, I don't blame him. He's still one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time. That decision, in my opinion, is kind of bullshit, but... Like, I get it. It's it's like a DDP Sean Strickland, you know? But arguably even more in favor of Pereira than a Strickland argument. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a Sean Strickland DDP, but Sean Strickland didn't get cut. You know? With, like, a little less activity. I'm talking about the first fight, obviously, not the second one. You know? It's like... Like, what are we doing, UFC? What the we're rewarding literally holding people against the cage, doing nothing, failing takedowns, and then also getting their hands broken while losing the clinch? Like, are we serious? I don't know. I think it's bullshit. Can't wait to see all the people cope and say, like, oh, of course Magomed Ankalaev is gonna win, brother. Did he really, though? You know what I mean? Wow, you hugged Pereira. You know? Was it Pereira's toughest test? No, Pereira's been knocked out before. Ankalaev barely won. If you want to say he won. Wasn't a domination. Whatever judge had 4 rounds to 1 on Ankalaev should be fired. And yeah, that's pretty much how the event went. So, yeah. If you like the content, if you like my personality, hey, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I do picks and predictions on every single card, and we'll probably continue doing that, despite me doing a lot more gaming content. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a good day.